The 2019 Thunder Drags Championship is wrapped up, but that doesn't mean the party is over. One event left on the calendar means one more chance to spoil the celebration for a now 14-time champion. One last Monster Truck Thunder Drags event here in 2019. Welcome to the Indiana State Fairgrounds here in Indianapolis, Indiana on a windy day. You know, this is actually the nicest weather we've had all weekend long. When we came in here on Friday, we had temperatures in the high 90s. Yesterday wasn't too bad, but today there's a little breeze in the air. It's very, very nice. This event is going to be different from every other Thunder Drags event we've had so far this weekend, for more than one reason. Number one, Matt Dishman has already wrapped up the championship. We had a chance to talk to him a little bit earlier about just that.
I'm a huge fan of racing, so whenever I get a close race, win, lose, or draw, I'm out here running with my buddies, having fun. That's what I've been doing all year long. Every one of these guys that want to run me right to the line, that's how racing's supposed to be. That's what I want to see every single time.
Now, when we came into this weekend, there was a change in the Bigfoot camp. Christian Norman had a prior engagement, so Bigfoot 18 is not here. Mike Miller brought Bigfoot 15 in to try to defend a shot at the number one spot. It didn't work out, and Bigfoot has broken a crankcase, so we brought in another spoiler to this championship. He doesn't have a shot to knock anybody out, and second place has now gone to Mikey Vodders in Overkill Evolution, and we had a chance to talk to him a little bit earlier today.
Yeah, like I said earlier, the suspension is working well, the engine was working well, and it was just I was in the mood to race yesterday.
All right, also, day number one, you had something kind of cool. You had a legend crewing on your truck over there on the front stretch.
Yeah, I got Scott Hess wrenching on it. He's a madman from way back in the day, so he's kind of going out there and, giving me some good spirits, telling me, don't be a wuss, I guess you could say in better terms. So that's what we did. He's been out there in the crew. He's doing a great job. It's been a hot weekend, but we're hanging in there. The truck's ready to go, and today it's not going to be any exception.
So with all the business wrapped up, we're about to go racing here in Indianapolis. The War Wizard joins the field. When we come back, round one racing gets underway.
This Back Channel Productions program is presented in part by Monsters Monthly. For up-to-date show and ticket info, plus articles, event breakdowns, and a wide selection of photo and video galleries, visit monstersmonthly.com. This edition of Monster Power is brought to you in part by Crush This. For an inside look at the world of monster trucks, check out Crush This, available on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube.
Welcome back to the Indiana State Fairgrounds in Indianapolis, Indiana, the final General Tire Monster Truck Thunder Drags of the year. Bad news travels fast, taking on our big-time spoiler coming into this final day, the War Wizard, R.J. Turner, trying to make a case for coming back on this series next year. Then we'll see the Black Stallion against the General Tire Ram, and your first and second in points Raminator against the Overkill Evolution. Ram versus Ford battle there right now. There you see him, R.J. Turner out of Brunswick, Maryland, on the line to take on our buddy Brandon Darrow out of Elkton, Virginia. The old Dominion Chevrolet. Bad news travels fast. Here's round number one. Darrow with the jump. But look at Turner drive around him at the finish line. A little wheel stand as he leaves the track. Solid run between those two trucks. It will be the War Wizard getting the victory. 7/10 and change margin of victory right there at a 6:08 clocking. We'll get another look at it and watch. Darrow in the left lane, right of your screen, got the jump. And he actually led R.J. Turner almost into the final jump. You can see Turner laying the power on right there. Darrow had to correct, and Turner drove right around him, even with the bigger hang time, the finish line being right after the ramp.
It's absolutely free, and we'll do that.
R.J. Turner in the War Wizards moving on to a semi-final round berth. See if Brandon Darrow stays in the bracket. There's a couple of fast trucks coming up behind him right now. We take a look at the Black Stallion, the safety clean Black Stallion out of Hagerstown, Maryland. The legend, Mike Voders Sr. The wheel of the big Roush Yates-powered Ford monster truck. Yesterday afternoon, he pulled off a big racing victory over Mike Miller and Bigfoot, who's not in the field. You can see how close they were there at the finish line. Miller actually had the better of the two runs going, but Voders found the horsepower and launched past him at the finish line to get into the semifinal round. Now he takes on the big Hemi horsepower Ram, Kurt Kramer in the General Tire machine. That was all Mike Voders. Kurt Kramer with problems in no man's land again. He has not been able to control the truck in the mid-range. Got down the track illegally that time, but he will not be making an appearance in the next round, most likely. Anything could happen, so let's not count him out just yet, but he's definitely not coming back as a fast loser. One more pairing to go here this afternoon. The final General Tire Monster Truck Thunder Drags event. In fact, the final event for that veteran driver, Matt Dishman, in the Ram Trucks Raminator. He takes on that guy right there, Mikey Voders, the second Overkill Evolution, the V2 Vids Overkill Evolution machine, one-up off-road design truck that really has been on a tear here lately on the General Tire Thunder Drag Series. He's been doing a great job, just didn't have the momentum at the beginning of the season, was dealing with problems, and it really knocked him out of the points chase. But he's getting a shot to spoil the celebration here at the final event of 2019. Good run for both of those trucks. They checked up right before the final ramp. Not as big a charge as we've been seeing from them earlier in the weekend, but a good run nonetheless. Mikey Voders in Overkill Evolution laying down a good shot right there. A 5:99, not a bad time. Actually, not a bad time for Dishman either, considering both of those guys had to check up before going into that final ramp. Coming up, the semifinals on the way. Stay with us. Back at the Indiana State Fairgrounds in Indianapolis, Indiana, Maryland Monsters on the starting line. Get ready to head into the semifinal round. You saw him staging up. War Wizard, R.J. Turner, that wild-looking Will, has taken on the Ford-powered safety clean Black Stallion, Michael Voders Sr., and then the other Voders, Overkill Evolution, taking on Matt Dishman for the second time today. The Ram gets another shot at Overkill, who's been the big spoiler of this championship celebration. Right now, though, that machine, R.J. Turner out of Brunswick, Maryland, takes on the Hagerstown, Maryland-based Black Stallion. Boy, Mike didn't give him anything off the starting line, but did you see the finish line launch for the War Wizard? What a run for R.J. Turner. And he gets the truck down in the good ET. Look at that, 598 clocking. He's right on par with where he needs to be going into this final round. Remember, the fast time earlier this week was set down by Mikey Voders at a 591. We'll see if they get down there today. It's a very dusty track. They're kind of blowing the tires off on the starting line, and that's hurting them a little bit as far as ET, but it's not hurting the racing at all. And look at the finish line launch for RJ Turner.
And our fast loser
Carrying
from
another
round one.
wheel stand well into the shutdown area. But the truck is handling beautifully, and this truck they have gone through with a fine-tooth comb trying to make it just right here in 2019. I cannot wait to see that truck next year when we come back with more action in 2020. In the meantime, back on the starting line, the Ram Trucks Raminator taking another crack at Mikey Vaughters in the V2 Vids Overkill Evolution, the big Ford-powered machine out of the state of Maryland being driven by the man out of Carleton Place, Ontario. He takes on the Champaign, Illinois-based Ram Trucks Raminator being driven by Matt Dishman. Mikey had him in no man's land. He was able to keep the truck straight. Moving over to the right lane was the right thing to do for him as he takes a victory and moves on into the final round against his neighbor, former neighbor. As Mikey's now up in Ontario. And look at the time there, a 5:96. So 2/100ths of a second separating our finalists going into this championship race. You see how they stack up. War Wizard beating a Chevy and a Ford to make his way into that final round at a 5:98. Believe me, those were not easy competitors to get past. That's how fast RJ Turner had to go to get in to this championship race with Mikey Vaughters, who is 2/100ths of a second faster. 2/100ths of a second faster right now than RJ Turner. You know that these guys are going to give each other a good run. However this ends up, I have to say RJ is definitely making a good case for having him back in the 2020 season right here on the General Tire Monster Truck Thunder Drags. They come to the line. Overkill Evolution already there. Here comes RJ Turner. Who will get the victory on this final run here in Indy? That right lane is the place to be. The far lane for RJ Turner causing him some problems in no man's land. Look at Mikey Vaughters getting this thing shut down out there on the track. Gets back onto the infield, and that was a quick run for both of those guys. A very, very good race for the championship here at the final. As far as the race program goes, General Tire Monster Truck Thunder Drags event for 2019, you see 7/100ths of a second separating those two at the finish line, a 5:95 clocking for the Overkill Evolution Ford. We're going to take a look at how the points wrap up. And there you see it. Raminator, of course, continuing to accumulate points today, though he wrapped up the championship yesterday afternoon. But 1,240 points go home with Matt Dishman for the 2019 season. Good way to retire from your driving career. Then you see 200 points down sits Overkill Evolution. May have been able to make a better run of it had he had a better season opener in Lima. Lucas Oil Bigfoot shared 800 points between Mike Miller and Christian Norman. Then you see General Tire, Black Stallion, and Bad News Travels Fast rounding out our top 6 in the final standings for the 2019 General Tire Monster Truck Thunder Drag. Stay with us. Freestyle is next. Welcome back to the Indiana State Fairgrounds. The General Tire Monster Truck Thunder Drags Freestyle underway. Take a look back at our first few vehicles that hit the track. The General Tire Ram, Kurt Kramer out of Champaign, Illinois, laying down a strong freestyle, one of the better ones he's had this year, as he has dealt with mechanical problems throughout the 2019 season. Not a bad run here, though. Kurt Kramer takes it off the track. Up next, Mike Vaughters Sr. trying out the two-wheel moves. Didn't really work for him. He did the same last night. Had some damage. Did not allow him to do so either. But watch this big hit. Getting into the spirit before the year is up. The safety clean Black Stallion catching some huge air over the racing lanes. We take another look at it. Looks like he may have blown a shock on the landing. But it was spectacular, and he takes the lead right now in this freestyle competition. Mike Voders splashing in the mud as our next vehicle hits the track. Brandon Darrow, Elkton, Virginia, in the Bad News Travels Fast Chevrolet. As I keep saying, it's the lone Chevy in the 2019 General Tire Monster Truck Thunder Drag Series, part of the Lucas Oil 4-Wheel Jamboree Series. See what Brandon has in store for the crowd here in Indy. It's a big space. You can spend a lot of time out there in that kind of neutral area where there's no real obstacles to hit, and that's something you have to be careful about doing. You go too long without hitting something, it can really hurt your freestyle score, and there's some big hitters coming up behind Darrow, but he's known for being able to do that right there, giving the fans a chance to read the inscription on the top of that truck.
Gentlemen, here with the Bad News Travels Fast.
Awesome machine right there, carrying the colors that the truck had when it was originally debuted, or the name had when it was debuted. Bruce Haney, who purchased the old Excalibur Racer from Charlie Pauck and campaigned it for a while. Awesome sky wheelie right there. And then Bruce had this Patrick chassis built, ran it until the end of 2011. Brandon Darrow jumping into the seat and making good on it. He has done some awesome things with this truck. They change the scheme up every year just a little bit to give the fans something new. And he has definitely done this name proud since he took it out of Florida up to the Old Dominion. A little bit too much dust on the blacktop right now to get those big slap wheelies that we're used to seeing out of him. I think he's starting to rip some of the tread off of those Firestones. Starting to buff them down a little bit, not getting the grip that he needs to really get that front end up in the air, but I think he's going to go for another sideways hit over this popper ramp over here in the corner. Laying down a solid run right now. I don't know if it'll hold up for the freestyle victory. And by the way, that championship has already been claimed by the Overkill Evolution machine, so that's two straight. 2018 and 2019, as Brandon Darrow does an awesome job working the track in the Bad News Travels Fast Chevrolet Silverado out of the Old Dominion, the Sign Pro sponsored machine. There we go, wild, kind of a sideways slap wheelie right there. He had the front wheels cocked to the left, the truck was pulling off to the right. Let it down just in time, because if he had gone wheels up into one of those racing ramps sideways, he could have made a real mess, but that was an awesome move. Darrow laying down a marathon run right now. He's been out on the track for a while. Let's see what he has left. Blackening up the treads a little bit as he buffs the dust off of the old front Goodyears and rear Firestones. I think that's going to be it for him. An awesome run for Brandon Darrow out of Elkton, Virginia. Something he can be proud of. He leaves the fans here in the 2019 Thunder Drag season with something to make him happy. Again, one of the nicest guys you will ever meet in this motorsport. Brandon Darrow leaving the track, and that means we will be bringing out our next vehicle for 2019 Thunder Drag's racing champion, Matt Dishman, in the Raminator out of Champaign, Illinois. Getting over there into the racing lanes, and that's something he's been doing all weekend long. Look at that dust storm he kicked up there on the infield. Remember, this is his last ride. He wants to make it count. One and up, Brandon Darrow. What a slap wheelie right there. Got off to the right-hand side, kind of out of the dust, and I think that might have been the secret. Handled that whoop section in style. Nice hang time right there. We'll see what Matt Dishman can do. I think he's already turned the momentum up just a little bit compared to our first 3 trucks. And there's nothing against any of those guys, but Dishman would love to take a freestyle victory out of this final event. He's got to go hard, though, because keep in mind, he's got War Wizard and Overkill Evolution right behind him. RJ and Mikey are not going to rest in this freestyle coming up. We know both of those guys would love to take a victory out of Indy. Matt Dishman wrapping it up short and sweet. The Raminator Ram Trucks machine out of Champaign, Illinois. One final goodbye to the fans here in Indy. He's made some lifelong friends. War Wizard, Overkill Evolution coming up next. Stay with us. Two trucks left to freestyle here in Indianapolis, Indiana at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Final 2 freestyles of the 2019 Thunder Drag Series. RJ Turner came in to fill in today and ended up in the final round against his buddy Mikey Fodders, and now he takes to the track and freestyle. What does he have for the rest of the field? Big sky wheelie to start things off, some vertical air. This truck known for doing some awesome slap wheelies. We'll see what he's got out of it as he comes back at the racing lane. Look at that! Oh! Way over on the nose. That is probably the biggest air we've seen all weekend long. RJ Turner using up all the space on the track. I'd say if he shut that truck down right now, he would be in the lead, even after just the 5 or 6 hits that he just made. Coming back with some momentum. And some more huge air. Still trying to get the shock set up right on this thing, but this is the best we've seen it look all year long. We've seen this guy up and down the road in 2019, but this is a good look at him here on a big, wide open space here, and plenty of room to get some hang time and still shut it down without getting into any of the obstacles out here on the track, like the telephone poles and the barriers. And I was wondering there if he ran over anything. I'm hoping that they moved the transponders before this freestyle. Mikey ran over the box that held the electronics for the Tough Trucks timing system. Look at that, more big hang time. No wasted momentum on this run right now. Look at that. Little slap wheelie and another big hit on the side of the racing lanes. And a marathon freestyle going right here. Tell you what, move to move, this may be one of the best freestyles we've seen all season long in the Thunder Drag Series. Definitely rivaling Mikey, another awesome hit. Got the rear steering there, went for a bit of a wild ride. I think he might be having a problem with the rear steering as it's crabbing over that racing lane. And he's going to shut it down right there. Nothing to be ashamed of. RJ Turner making an awesome showing at the one Thunder Drags event he's been able to be a part of all season long. There he is, popping out from the back. Well, he heads off the track. We're going to take another look at some of these big moves that he made. Remember, he started with a huge sky wheelie and then countered with this massive leap over the racing lane. bounces down onto the nose. Then he has to drive out of it.
Coming up in just a couple of minutes. Once our drivers
And keep in mind that telephone pole is about dead center. You're looking right at that electrical box and all that conduit going up the side of that pole as you're hanging out in the air there, so you know he had to get the wheels turned to the right and get away from that thing. Which is exactly what he did. And then another huge hit off of that popper ramp. I think that he has had the biggest air we've seen all weekend long, if not so far this year. That was an awesome, awesome hit that he made there. A bunch of awesome hits, but that leap over the racing lanes was incredible. And then this, he actually got some hang time off of the gentler side of that popper ramp and then carried that into the back of the actual popper part of the ramp. That's where the rear steering seemed like it started going on him, and you'll see it didn't come back. And again, he's headed right for that barrier, that barrier in that pole. Do not want to get into that thing. He's not the only one that's had to avoid that this weekend as Mikey Vauders heads out here in Overkill Evolution. That is part of a gender reveal that he's doing for a friend of his. Glad to see that out there. I don't know if they'll consider that an unfair advantage that he had a little smoke show at the beginning and characteristic controlled, steady two-wheel move to open up the freestyle, and now pure chaos as Mikey Vauders will work this track to perfection. But will he be able to beat RJ Turner? Because he sat back there and watching, he just ran over some barriers. That's probably the only thing RJ didn't do was crush Yodox. I don't know how much Lee Collins and the track crew like that. I don't think Mikey cares as he whips the rear end across the top of that popper ramp. Going way out in the field to get some big hang time. Another huge hit off that racing, landed perfectly in the center of it. Kicking up the dust and the mud. He's got an awesome run going right now. Another huge launch off the racing lanes right onto the top of the other racing lane tabletop, whipping it around here on the track. Right now, I'm going to say it's going to be a tough decision because RJ had some bigger hang time, but Mikey had that two-wheel move. So we'll see who takes the freestyle victory here in the final event, the Thunder Drag season in 2019. Mikey crushing some more Yodox. Got into the tough trucks course over there. And into the fence. He just took out a transformer. There's actually electrical conduit running down the section of fence that he just ran into, and he just knocked one of the electrical transformers off the fence. So there was a little pop there. No harm, no foul, though. It's daylight.
That's a wrap, baby. Four-wheel jamboree. That's a wrap.
So he's the freestyle champion for 2019, whether he gets this event victory or not. He and RJ definitely made it close here. Last event in 2019. We got one more edition of Monster Power coming up. We're going to wrap up the 2019 Tough Trucks Challenge Championship next time, right here from Indy. We hope to see you. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Monster Power. We will see you next time.